What is a little known warning from nature that can save your life? If the animals get the frick out, you should too. Whenever I see someone running, it makes me want to run. I recently realized this might actually be a safety instinctual thing when someone else said they want to run when they see runners. 2. I believe it's a similar story with vomiting. If I'm spewing my guts up, I probably ate something bad, therefore you should vomit it up too. Your body tells you to feel sick as a safety measure. If you are out swimming at the beach or a coastal inlet and see an unusually calm area of water, get away from it. It could be a rip tide. On that note, if you get stuck in a rip, don't swim against it, you will tire and drown. Swim parallel to the coast till you swim out of the rip. Weirdly, if you just float in a rip, it will pull you quite far out to sea, push you sideways, but then also bring you back in on the surf. This takes nerves of steel obviously, but it works. People die from exhaustion in a rip more than anything. I got in the famous one at Bondi Beach by accident as a teenager, and it really is terrifying to experience fighting against it. I heard about the trick above after that experience. Got caught in one in Jamaica. I just started to float and let it carry me out a bit, then just backstroked parallel to shore until I could swim in. Had to haul myself up on a private dock, slicing my feet pretty good on barnacles, and limp back to the hotel we were at trailing blood. A nice hotel employee made me some towel shoes to wear back inside. Now I grew up there and on the Texas Gulf Coast, so I knew riptides. Hell, in Texas we were taken on a field trip to learn about them. Even with that knowledge, I didn't see it. Water was too calm everywhere to see the signs. Only way I knew was realizing I wasn't making progress to shore. Can confirm. I once swam against a riptide. That shoot is tiring as frick and you feel like you make zero progress. I made it eventually, but man was I tired after that shoot. If you happen upon a moose and aren't intending to be that close hunters, regardless of the season, you should leave immediately. Moose are not your friends. You'll have a window of opportunity to leave. Take it. The cows will straight up murder you, especially if she has calves, and the bulls might take down half a forest to murder you. More people die in moose encounters than bear. Moose don't see that well and don't like you. Plus they are way bigger than you think they are. Grew up around Anchorage. In the summer we could tell there was moose nearby, because literal clouds of mosquitoes follow them. While I'm here, stay off the ash-slit beaches in Alaska. That muck seems solid one step, but can liquefy the next. If a tornado looks like it's not moving, chances are that it is either coming right at you, or it's moving away from you. Always assume it's coming towards you and seek shelter right away. Also, and like in the movies, tornadoes don't follow the road. Don't expect it to suddenly turn. Not sure about this one. Tornadoes do a lot of weird stuff. El Reno did a full 180 if I remember right. No expert here, but I've lived in Missouri my whole life. New Year's Eve, a tornado tore down a house and the neighbor's house about 15 feet away still had its Christmas lights up. Another one jumped over our house that's on the peak of a valley and then take out a garage and barn at the base of the valley. Never try and predict what a tornado will do, in my opinion. Most animals don't smile. If you see teeth or an open mouth, it's usually a warning or sign of aggression. Use this advice with our next relatives, apes. They don't smile, they show stress, fear or aggressiveness. Tons of videos of people taking wildlife tours or watching animals at zoos that are clearly pissed off, and the people in the background are saying, "Oh look, he's smiling. So cute." I always thought that apes have two different reactions with showing their teeth depending on how they move their lips. I feel like I've heard that apes do smile from amusement sometimes, but I don't know anything about apes, so I'm probably wrong. I just imagined a bear smile and it looked hella weird. I just want to put this out there. Most animals show aggression by baring their teeth. I think this is a reason that a lot of kids get bit by a dog that's never been known to do that. Kids are happy and they show it by smiling a lot, and they are closer to eye level with the dog than most adults are. So little kids are going towards a dog, especially when they don't know the dog may see their smile as an aggressive stance. That's just my 2 cents worth. In Australia, standing dead still will get you out of trouble with most snakes. With the notable exception of a tiger snake. You might think this means you should run. However, tiger snakes are also one of the few that will chase you, and they're damn fast. An old bushman told me once, if you see a tiger snake close enough to strike you, just kill it, cause it's kill or be killed once it knows you're there. Yeah, I've been chased by a tiger snake. Was not fun. Damn thing followed me up and down my street while I was frantically knocking on neighbor's door for help. Ended up having to jump over the bloody thing to get back to my house. Jesus, I panicked just reading this. That sucks, and I'm glad you got away. Thanks. I was about 11 years old at the time. It sticks with you. Not the first or last time I had a close encounter with a wriggle stick. Note to self. Australia scary. Now I remember why I live in a place where the air hurts my face 9 months out of the year, lol. If a tree is hot to touch, get the frick out. I don't know if this is common in other countries, but here in Australia we have what's called widowmakers. Basically, eucalypt trees are extremely flammable, and it's possible for the tree to be on fire internally, but not visible on the outside, and can literally explode at any given moment. So, spiders, snakes, sharks, and exploding trees. You all need to chill the frick out down under. Sounds like the Brits knew what they were doing when they established penal colonies there. What the frick? Even the trees are designed to kill you. Australia is Satan's playground guaranteed. Nah, pretty sure even Satan avoids that place. Well, that's an added horror of Australia I wasn't aware of. Your own senses. If you feel like something is wrong, there is a good chance it is. In your peripheral you may have seen something or gotten a vibe from someone that made your hair stand. Don't just dismiss the feeling. Our subconscious is very attuned to hostile body language and people capable of violence. People should read The Gift of Fear to relearn to trust our instincts. If I always trusted my instincts, I'd probably never leave my house, LMAO. If you see multiple dead fish in a body of water where people don't fish, don't go in the water. It likely has high bacteria or is polluted. I mean, multiple dead animals is probably not a good thing in general. If a bee keeps headbutting you and annoying you, alter course. They are warning you that you're getting too close to the nest. Bro bee. Bee bro got your back. Thank you. This is one of the few things posted that isn't common knowledge, but is also very helpful in general. So like running into you deliberately with hairy tiny fuzzy bodies? Yep, they kinda gently kamikaze on you without stinging. During stormy weather in the Midwest, if the sky turns greenish and the pressure bottoms out, it's time to head for the basement. In the southeast it's usually an ominous orange color. The whole world turns a warm sepia and the sky turns a sickly orange. Are you able to feel the pressure change? I've never been to tornado country. Grew up in Nebraska. The air gets thick and still, like everything stops. I remember standing in the porch and falling leaves just sort of hovered and swayed slowly. The sky turns bruised purple or green. Then the sound comes back and all hell breaks loose. I once saw a black cloud turn into 3 fingers and drop down from the sky. Tornadoes are eerie as hell. If you're walking in a forest and suddenly everything gets dead silent, find shelter. There's likely a predator nearby. Alternatively, if the birds suddenly start going insane, get out. Happened to me once. By the time I got back to my truck, a bear popped out behind me not ever 10 meters back. Birds warn each other. Pay close attention to the animals in your surroundings at all time. They're constantly telling us things. It's just that most people don't listen. Edited to add. All animals around us are communicating. It's smart to pay attention. If you're on the beach and see that the shore is much further out in the ocean than it usually is, you should get away from there immediately. This is the mere warning sign of a tsunami, and you can see this for example in videotapes of the Great Tsunami in 2004. But people weren't leaving. They rather tried to figure out where the water went. I once also heard a story about a girl who went to holidays with her parents to a region which was hit by the tsunami, and a few weeks before the vacation she learned about tsunamis at school. So, she noticed what was happening and she rescued her family. I hope that if I see the ocean move backwards I would think that's a bad sign. This is pretty terrifying to me because of that back that I live near Daytona Beach in Florida, where beach parking is a very extreme thing. Miles and miles of cars parked and running up and down the whole coastline, and if there was ever a case of a tsunami, everybody leaving would get into their cars and there would be numerous wrecks, pile-ups, and congestions causing numerous deaths from the panic. I think that when your hair starts floating upwards during a thunderstorm, you are probably going to get hit by lightning. That happened to my sister. She was standing near a basketball goal and her hair floated down as she walked back to me. Lightning never came, but I nearly shoot my pants. You might have had a small seizure and didn't know it. Anyone can have a seizure. What makes someone like me an epileptic is having a low threshold. But I wasn't born with epilepsy. It just came into my life at 27 and nobody could tell me why. But way before I became epileptic, I actually had a few clues here and there. I bring this up because I've seen others on Reddit describe these events and ask what it was. And seizures are on the rise. And there are different kinds of seizures. Someone could easily just have one throughout their entire life. Indicators you are having a small seizure include suddenly forgetting what you are saying halfway through a sentence. Suddenly just forgetting how to speak or understand for a few seconds. Suddenly hearing loud ringing in your ears for no reason at all, like in a quiet room. Heart suddenly racing for a few seconds. I will have all of these symptoms at once, and they are called absent seizures, or petit mals. The first time it happened, I called the advice nurse and she just laughed at me, telling me to stop drinking coffee. The list goes on. 10 years after that first event, nothing happened again until I started waking up on the floor or feeling exhausted throughout the day. I was having seizures in my sleep and didn't know it. Then one day I woke up in the hospital and was a full-blown epileptic.